We're now going to take a look at our next drill in our series for freestyle. At this point, we've learned on how to be able to have really good body positioning in a flat position while also putting in rotation, having great emphasis here on the kick, and starting to understand where we want to be able to place the head in terms of the positioning. So this drill is just going to kind of combine those all into one area. So this drill is a body position 6-kick switch. So we're going to be kicking in different positions and switching those positions every 6 kicks. So here we're going to start out in a side position kick. So just as a reminder, a few things that we look for are here for the shoulders and hips to be popped. Opposite hips and shoulders are going to be down. Head here is going to be resting against the surface of the water. And here we kind of see everything nice and flat. We have the water line about here, halfway up, halfway below, and that's what we really would like to see. Our athlete here is wearing fins. So if you're a weak kicker, we're kind of just starting to get your bearings with this drill, absolutely would recommend wearing fins on when you're doing this drill. And then what you're going to do is you're going to kick 6 times. And then what we're going to see is a transition. So here we're going to then go into a flat position. We'll take a look at more of the kick through the underwater view and kind of talk about that at that stage, because we're going to want to make sure that the legs and the feet are doing the same thing in each position. Here everything's just nice and flat, and we're going to go, and we're big thing here that we look for is just that the head again stays steady, and that we're going to see turbulence here up at the surface. So here our athlete could do a little bit of a better job with that. So we would want to emphasize those legs kicking up here, and then we're going to there we go, 6 kicks, and then we're going to switch. So here we're going to see that we're going to want to see the hips and shoulders up, head here being at a very, very steady point, resting against the surface. And we like actually seeing this. This was really, really, really nice to see for our athlete, that we're keeping the feet up at the surface and kicking there. And then we're going to go 6 kicks, and you're just going to keep repeating that pattern. Now, if you get a little bit of sinkage here when your athletes are turning into the water, that's quite all right. Just make sure you're emphasizing with them to reset that body positioning and get that head back up. So we take a look at here at the transition underwater. So regardless of what position the athlete is in, you're going to want to look for some key things. So here, feet should be pointed as we're moving through the water. So the fins here kind of force that positioning for our athlete. And that's just something, again, you want to see whether they're flat or on their side. Another thing that we're going to look for is just, again, a kind of a natural bend in the knee as we're moving through the water. If we're looking at this kind of from a side view, and we have our athlete, and the white line is going to be the kick or the legs. If we have the knees drawn in and have just a very forceful bend, or if when we're kicking out of the water and they're kind of kicking way up like this, so there's a lot of knee bend. Kicking with the knee just generates a lot of fast speed, but it doesn't translate into actually them moving through the water very quickly. So you're just going to want to allow for a natural bend. That way, then what happens is everything's going to start up here from the hips. And here we've got a lot of water moving, so we like seeing that, and we just again kind of want to watch that we're not kicking too far under the body. So we're going to switch here now to a return view for our athlete. We're just going to again look for some of those good same things we were doing before. Hips and shoulders here are up in the side position. Head here is flat. We see then turbulence here at the surface. We're going to go 6 and then switch. So again, remember, we got a little bit of sinkage here. Quite all right. Our athlete's going to reset, and the head then becomes stable, 6. And then again, on the other side here, boom. On the other side, opposite hips and shoulders are up. Then that side's down. We see a lot of turbulence here at the surface. and you're just going to keep repeating that cycle. So this is a great drill to be able to combine the side positioning, the breathing, rotation, and just kind of how much you want in terms of that rotation. Younger swimmers, this is actually probably going to be a good level of rotation to be able to have as they're really working on getting old. I'm sorry, not old, but more experience. Older athletes would probably rotate a little bit less. So older athletes, we could probably say, just a little bit popped out of the water is going to be fine as they're moving through, so they won't be on their side just as much. As we transition here to underwater view, you can kind of see everything. And here, just also we didn't mention earlier, but hand should be up at the side. And just we're going to keep moving through. Another thing that we look for here is just that the feet are not swaying too far in front or behind. We're keeping everything nice and narrow as we're moving through the water here. So our athletes here are doing a great job. If you found value out of this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe as we're dropping new videos all the time.